Dr. Karen Dade, and I am the Executive Director of Multicultural International Development Company. And so I thought I would invite my granddaughters and one of our MIDC team members, Dr. Gudger, to be a part of giving you some strategies. Because guess what? School is getting ready to start back, not only for pre-K through 12, but also for college students. But there's so much uncertainty. We don't know what to expect. And so we want to get a little bit of feedback, both from my granddaughter Ellie here, as well as my granddaughter Addie. And we're actually going to be doing some skits to give some strategies on what to do at home to be able to begin to prepare for what things may be like or may not be like, okay? And so that's why we're so happy to be able to have Dr. Gudger here today, because she's going to play school counselor. I'm going to play teacher, since I've been a teacher for about 45 years now. And so I just kind of want to start off with a quick introduction.
Hi, I am Dr. Gudger, and I am part of the MIDC team. And again, we are going to be working on some things that if your children are at home, that you can actually do with them that's fun and educational.
And so what do you think about this? Are you thinking that this is a good thing to share with others just on how you're feeling about going back to school? So I know that here in California, we're going to be online. What do you think?
I think a lot of schools are actually going to be online, and this is a good time to start, watching videos like this, educating yourself, also just like preparing yourself for certain things. And there's also a lot of anxiety. So we're all coming together to help you guys work through that.
Yeah, that's great. And then Ellie, what are you thinking? Okay, school starts in 2 weeks. Okay, back to online again, right? How's that feeling for you?
It's pretty hard, like learning some things, like when you're doing online. So it's a little stressful when you're trying to get situated.
Well, I'm so glad you shared that, because we're going to be talking about how to do some creative things at home that might help to take away that stress. And then again, we're so fortunate to have Dr. Gudger, who's going to help us process that. Okay?
Yes, I actually had 3 questions as they spoke.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, this is part 2. I'm Dr. Dade. I'm here with Dr. Gudger and my 2 beautiful granddaughters, Addie and Ellie. And we're going to continue the convo, since this is part 2 of a 5-part convo. And so, ladies, I want to kind of bring us back to what we did at the beginning of the summer when we did the self-love empowerment 30-day challenge. And so it was really great to have you as guests on the show. And of course, Dr. Gudger joined me for a lot of those particular sessions. But it was the session, it was in June, and we really were talking about, the impact for each of you as related to the coronavirus, and also as related to Black Lives Matter, since both of you were so active in those protest marches and so on. And so one of the things that I would like to do is for us to use the MIDC's Kuumba Learning Model. And we'll talk a little bit about that model in more detail through our Instagram, etc., and so on. I basically, the unit that I would like to do from the Kuumba Learning Model, which means culturally creative curriculum, right? I want to do the unit on the human family, because I think it's going to help us to understand how we are very much connected, how we need each other, and how we need to know and appreciate all of the various cultures of our nation and the world at large. I feel like if we can have a better understanding, we'll have greater acceptance, and we'll work together. And, we always talk about having peace and love and how important that is.
You guys each of you can just tell us how you feel about the idea of working from the perspective of a human family. What does that mean to you?
Love it, love it.
Like working together, like that kind of. Okay. I feel like working together, like in a human family, is really powerful because we have all different ideas, all different opinions, and we come together. We like to share those things, you know, learn from each other, which is really eye-opening. So that's what I think.
That's great.
How about you, Ellie?
It's like a good way to like connect with people and like learn more about them and learn like things together and like work together.
Dr. Dade?
Okay. So Dr. Gudger, let me just kind of give a historical context for the Kuumba.
Thank you.
And the Kuumba Learning Model was developed by myself and Dr. Carly Tartikoff in 1995. We were both professors at Iowa State University, and if you know anything about Iowa, at that time it was about 94% white. Mm-hmm. And so we were living in a community that, and at the time I had five children, which included your mom, of course. And so we were living in the community, and however, we were in the minority of that community. And so what we did is we linked with other families of color, mainly families of African descent, along with our students at the University of African Descent, along with our teacher education students, and we developed a whole center. It was actually a school. It started off as a Saturday school where we could the objective was to be able to teach our children about their culture and to be proud of who they were. Because oftentimes in being in the minority within a classroom, they would not see themselves in that curriculum. Mm-hmm. And so I think that kind of gives us some background to that. And so the Kuumba Learning Model has actually been tested and implemented and adopted in countries around the world. I've had the opportunity to do that for the Ministry of Education in India, South Africa. Right here in Oakland, we ran a program for which, you remember, Dr. Gudger, you were part of that program, right? Yes. And so we're really proud of the Kuumba Learning Model. We're going to be doing a huge session through MIDC coming up soon. And so we're just trying to give you kind of a taste of that.